Our topic today is both timely and critical. We are talking about cybersecurity of mobility infrastructure. Me and my partners for the panel can talk about it the whole day, but they've given us only 20 minutes. We will try to be short and concise and provide you some actionable insights. The fusion of mobility technology and digitization is the essence of smart mobility. In the new era of transportation, vehicles are connected, autonomous transportation networks is no longer a purely physical infrastructure of roads and rails. Rather, it is connected intelligent system. And innovative transportation models are driven by big data, AI, and IoT platforms. Smart mobility is reshaping the way people and goods move and is fundamental to national critical infrastructure. The stakeholders of this revolution, some of them represented today in this panel, include governments, cities, public transport authorities, automotive and rail system OEMs, technology providers, and more. However, this revolution also introduces vulnerabilities, especially smart mobility increasingly converges with other critical national infrastructures, such as power grids, financial systems, and communication networks. This interconnectedness amplifies potential impact of cyber threats, making cybersecurity a paramount concern. Today, we are fortunate to have with us distinguished panel of experts who will help us navigate these complex issues. I would like to invite to the stage Ronnie Federbush, Assaf Harel, and Assaf Turner.
Thank you. My name is Assaf Turner. I am the head of Sectoral Cybersecurity in the Ministry of Energy in Israel. The unit consists of 21 people dedicated to the protection, cyber protection of the Israeli grid and power supply.
Hello, I am Assaf Harel, Chief Scientist and co-founder of Karamba Security. Karamba Security is an almost 8 years old company working with most of the OEMs and Tier 1 suppliers in the automotive industry on different cybersecurity projects, starting from pen testing, risk assessment, things like that, services, all the way to protecting ECUs and vehicles from cyber attacks.
My name is Ronnie Federbush. I'm Country Cyber Manager for Israel in Alstom. Alstom is one of the biggest train rail industry manufacturers in the world. We excel in signaling and train control, and obviously all that pertains to rail. My team in Israel is small, roughly 6 people, and expanding, hopefully. We have done the signaling of the red line in Tel Aviv. We are doing the green line in Tel Aviv. My apologies for all you in the traffic jams. And just to make things equal for everyone in Israel, we will do all the traffic jams in Haifa Nazareth soon enough, I understand. That's it.
So I'm Orit Fredkof. I'm Director of Business Development and Sales for Elta Cyber Division. Elta is a leading global provider of end-to-end cyber resilience solutions on a national level. We work with governments, we work with critical infrastructure, with law enforcement and military. So, in addition, as part of our activity, Elta is the prime contractor for the Israeli National Cyber Center for Intelligent Transportation Systems called CITES. And CITES is actually mandated to be the national testing lab for components and platforms for the smart transportation or smart mobility. as I'm focused on some of the interest points of Elta and sites, I would like that our discussion today will touch mainly the questions of IT and OT convergence and the challenge of such conversion for smart mobility. And also take a look at the broader perspective of how smart mobility is engaged with the national critical infrastructure. So let's start with the first question. The first question would be, what are the main near future challenges for cybersecurity that you have in your domain? And I'll address this question first to Assaf, Harel from Karamba, and then Ronnie.
Thank you. So we're working mainly in the automotive industry, but also in a few other industries like the medical industry and industrial domain. And what we see currently, devices and vehicle systems and vehicles are going on the road or going to the field still having security issues. So if this is, you know, the one thing that I have to think about, we're going to, you know, through pen testing projects, we are validating cybersecurity controls in these systems and vehicles, and we find things. We find critical things. Let me give you an example. 50% of the ECUs in a vehicle, we would be able to reset from an external port. And this is, so, and it stops a car if you can reset 50% of the ECUs. And, you know, and this is, we've been working on, I think, more than 1,000 ECUs by now. So it's really statistical now, the finding. And we have some more findings like this that really goes to show that the state, at least in the automotive industry, the state of cybersecurity of systems that we're putting on the road is not there yet. And the only reason we don't see, you know, many incidents is that there are no attacks yet, not a lot of attacks yet. And the fact that the cybersecurity, the automotive cybersecurity industry is getting better and better is good, but you know, it's still not good enough. And yeah, future will be better, I hope.
I would like to accentuate on what Assaf just mentioned. Yes, in Israel, we are heavily regulated by the INCD, which is not the case as we are. The Tel Aviv Red Line was started 6-7 years ago. It is the first cyber by design from scratch project in the world, which is, for me, crazy as someone that has been doing cyber for the past 20-something years. I wouldn't mount a lot of the trains and trams in Europe. We are very okay in Israel, but hey, Assaf is 100% right. No cyber, no defenses. If only to mention but a few, we've heard of this whiz kid in Poland from Lodz that in 2008 have the rate for trains just by modding some controls. We have all heard of the 2022 blockage of the Belarusian rail systems in order to prevent Russia from using it. It was done by the cyber partisans from the Ukraine. And I wouldn't even try to mention who the hell was that stopped the Iranian rail systems for a few days a while ago. Yes, it's easy, and it's surprisingly too easy. Yet again, in Israel, we are doing quite fine, and we have to thank the INCD for it and the clients. And if I may put it so, do I have enough time?
If you can focus a little bit on the challenges when you implement cybersecurity, because we see that everything is actually interconnected. Eventually, if you hack a payment system, people are not able to buy tickets for trains. That's something that already has been done in some countries. So things are interconnected. Can you, a few words about that?
I was focusing on people making it into the holy grail of the system in train control, but yes, in San Francisco, the automated fare collection, the AFC was hacked, and for a week people were able to ride for free. I'm in the knowledge of a few other incidents that had happened or are very easily would happen, as my friend here, Assaf, mentioned, could happen very easily. If I'm to talk about my challenges, it would be a lot about, if I may put it so, not too many cyber guys, but you can find few. Not too many signaling and train control guys, slightly less than cyber, but you can still find someone. But people that are combining the two and are in knowledge of regulations, of standards, which we are to follow, are impossible to find. That happens that even me personally, am sent to places abroad to grow, to develop those kind of people. From my experience, my Rex in Tel Aviv Red, in Tel Aviv Green, this would be my biggest problem in performing such a project.
Okay.
People, knowledge, regulation.
People, knowledge, regulation, and one of the things that you have mentioned in our previous discussion is that it's a long project, and also in Rails it's a very large geography. So these are some of the main challenges when we come to also a broader perspective of critical infrastructure. These challenges are very common. And you mentioned the INCD. Now I want to ask Assaf, who was sitting here quietly, about the role of the regulator, actually. How do you see the role of the regulation? Do you believe that there are gaps? And is regulation enough? And I also want you to touch another subject. Do you have other tools except for regulation? After all, you're the government. You're so almighty.
I hope not. I hope I'm not the government. But, okay, so when we talk about regulation, when we talk about cybersecurity regulation, there is a large ecosystem that combines producers, consumers, tech, existing tech. We have the academy, and then we have the regulators. And obviously, regulators can never replace the tech that's here or the producers. What I personally try and do is do some kind of a collaboration effort to look at the next 5 to 10 years, where we're heading, and then try and harness the big producers, academy, other regulators around the world. And I'll give you a short story to kind of amplify on this. I remember last Cyber Week, it was June, about a year ago, and we had the ComIT attack. If you guys remember, 1,700 companies were affected. As far as we're concerned, 2 major vendors, Schneider Electric and Siemens, were affected. And usually anyone who's in the cybersecurity realm knows that it takes about, well, between 4 and 8 weeks until anything is resolved and we get knowledge of it. So when we talked to our people, they said, no, come on, Israel is a small country. Those big guys will never talk to us. So I gave a call to my German colleagues at the Ministry of Energy. So you guys, you're the German guys, talk to the vendors. Imagine what they said. We're too small, we're just Germany. They never talk to us. So I said, okay, who's bigger? Let's talk to our American friends. So I talked to the American DOE, Department of Energy. They said the same thing. And then I got to be the rude Israeli. I called back Schneider Electric, said, listen, we have, it's not just me in Israel, we have the Germans and we have the Americans on our backs, so we need solutions and we need this resolved right now. And that it was, I remember, 6 p.m. on a Wednesday, and the issue was resolved on Saturday. So if this is my 2 cents, if this is my push as a regulator, then I'm happy for it.
So what you say is that it's worth having friends. We should keep them.
It's very good having friends, yes.
Yeah, it's a hint for... Okay, so basically what you say is that the other tool that you have except for regulation is mainly collaboration. And even international collaboration can assist. What is the main impact of artificial intelligence on cybersecurity in your domain? I think it will be we are very curious, Assaf, to hear first from you in the IoT platforms.
Yeah, so what we see in the attacking domain, in the hacking domain, from AI experts, we see that the large text models, they already know to read code. They already know to find vulnerabilities, and even more, hair pulling. They know how to write exploits. And what we see now, we're starting to see. It's still in research labs. It's not yet out in the field, but that's the next step. We see exploits that are being developed by AI. And these exploits, first of all, they lower the threshold for entry. So now it's not only nation states and not only experts. You can expect, kids to start exploiting using really difficult exploits and not known exploits from the exploit DB. Something that they develop, but they used AI tools to develop it. And what we can also expect, we see that already in these researches, these attacks can be under the radar of machine learning. So it's AI fighting AI. AI on the defense, I mean. So the machine learning on the defense side is looking for, indicators, looking for attack indicators. The AI, the attacker AI, learn that and knows how to be under the threshold of the detectors. And when AI fights against AI, it's really, fighting with the same tools. So it's really a battle that we, the defenders, we find it very difficult to win, and we need different tools. It's actually very strange. We are going back to the future. We are going back to tools that we used to have before machine learning. We used to have very deterministic tools, tools that are, closing the unit deterministically, and these tools continue to be strong, continues to be very robust against even the most sophisticated AI, because they're very deterministic. The heuristics part of cyber defense, this is something that needs to, adapt to the next frontier, and I don't know yet how it will shape up.
Okay, so it's a double-edged sword, and I think Ronnie wants to add something. Please.
Yet again, I would like to complete the words of my colleague here and say that in rail context, it is slightly different. Any rail project once inaugurated is usually extremely deterministic. Nothing changes, nothing moves. Nobody uses DHCP is a protocol because the IP address might change. Even if you put an incredible, crazy lease on the IP. Safety means determinism. Safety means nothing changes. Everything is anticipated to the point. This is why we do use, and we have started using these tools inside the R&D labs of Alstom, using AI to better the equipment. Once inside a project, once inside a train, no use of AI. It's slightly contrary to what you see due to the specific nature of rail industry.
Okay, so I think we have only a few minutes left, so we need to finish on an optimistic note. I would like us to dream of a better future, and I would like to leave our audience with a more optimistic vision. So I think the last question would be, would you be able to share some actionable insights for the stakeholders in the smart mobility, meaning if each one of you can, I don't know, choose one, at least one, and what keeps you optimistic for the future? You know, we need to have something to drive us, so what keeps you optimistic for the future that the good guys will eventually win? So I'll give out my...
Okay, so as far as we're concerned at the Ministry of Energy, a couple of weeks ago I was in a conference in Frankfurt where we had just under 20 scientists and 5 different universities trying to get research into OT and zero trust architecture for ICS systems. I think that if we keep our perspective to the next 5, 10, 50 years, if we keep our heads up rather than trying to solve current issues, I think we're going to have a bright future.
Thank you. What I would like to say is that, in the past, let's say, 5 years, we see that most of the organizations that we're working with are building cybersecurity teams, building internal competence, and in parallel to that, the regulation is kicking in with voluntary standards becoming mandatory, the cybersecurity teams having to follow that, and we see that competence building into the organizations, which makes us optimistic that when attacks will come, these organizations will be able to adapt, well, relatively quickly, as it happened in the past with other industries. And we saw that with other industries, how, they changed, in the face of attackers, they changed to actually be able to protect their fleets of devices against cyber attacks. And I think that, the industries that we are working with are at that place where they will be able to make the shift towards an organization that faces attacks.
I do too think that investment in people, investment in knowledge is still of highest importance to every organization out there, be it industry, be it services, be it operations of whatever. Only people will be able to think out of the box, will be able to accommodate everything that is yet to come and is behind the horizon for us to see, to understand, to notice. Invest in people.
First of all, thank you very much to the audience for joining us today. I want to give a big hand to our panelists that brought this wonderful knowledge to us and shared their insights. to sum up, what all of you said is basically competence building, knowledge, collaboration, regulation, and the Israeli thing of thinking out of the box. On this note, we look forward, obviously, to continue the discussion. If there are any questions, we are here to answer. I don't want to take any more of your time, but just to say on behalf of the whole team here that we all pray for getting back our hostages alive. Thank you.